Welcome back to ASHEBORO Undecided. You are watching or listening to episode 10 of our first season, and this is the last episode of our first season, and I can't thank you enough. If you're watching for the first time or the 10th time, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to give a big thanks to all of our guests who trusted us enough to sit in this chair and go over some things, go over your life, your journey, your opinions, anything that you wanted to say in this chair. We appreciated that so much to give to the community of Asheboro and to make sure that we're going in the right direction with giving people the opportunity to be heard. Voices need to be heard in our community. Which brings me to a very, very, very important point right now. Some things went on this weekend to cancel an event here in our city, in our downtown. Pressure was put on to a business, bullied in a form of the best term that I can figure out, bullied to cancel an event. We need to get to the root of this as a community. I need some people to step up and come to talk to us. We invite you to this chair, whichever side you're on. We want this situation to come to light so that this doesn't happen again. This does not need to happen in our community, in our city, to be bullied and pushed into a corner to feel like you have to cancel something. I could be wrong with this. This is the opportunity for people to step up and clear this situation up. So please do contact me or any member of our cast, crew, any host, even any guest. We stay in contact with all of our guests. So please, if you're listening or watching this and you have any kind of inclination on how to address this, contact us. And without further ado, this is the 10th episode of Season 1. Thank you again. I encourage you to subscribe, share, comment, like, and general word of mouth is big. Also, rating on IMDb is huge too. If you need to know how to do that, contact us. And like I said, without further ado, here's episode 10. Thank y'all. Can you grab a bowl from the, maybe I'll just open it up for myself. I've already got 3 over here. Get a bowl out of the 12 pack. It's in the right beside the fridge. My selfish ass opened it up, man.
Oh my goodness.
Did I give you one?
Yeah, I got one.
Oh man. There you go, my friend.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I love them things.
Yeah, like I said, they are hard to find though. All right.
Okay.
All right, we are Asheboro Undecided. It's a podcast for a city that doesn't quite know itself yet.
I like that.
We are here with Heathen Mezzanine and Marshall Alexander, TyBru here. Got Blaze Belushi working the camera for a second, back in the back.
Oh yeah.
So welcome to the show.
Hey, it's you probably don't know this, but like 15 minutes ago, I went live on the Facebook and I was like really like thanking you, man. I tagged you. I was like thanking you for the opportunity. Because I know we go way back, but at the same time, man, you do a lot for this city, man. And some people are aware, some people are not aware, and some people need to be aware. And so, man, that means a lot to me, bro. Like for real, what you're doing. I'm the type of person I want to give people their flowers in front of them, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like, yo, keep doing what you're doing, and in every aspect, because it's a blessing to have somebody that can do it from all different genres, from clothing to being in the streets to just everything you do, from the podcasting to the music. Everything, you're very universal, and you even did that from traveling, from being in China and here and everything, bro, and the movies and everything. You're very gifted, very talented, very blessed individual, and you bringing people together. And don't worry about the numbers, man. Because one thing, numbers don't lie. But see, it don't take a whole lot of numbers to make an effect. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for that, man.
No problem.
He always gives me some inspiration.
That's a good way to start. That's a good way to start.
Well, I appreciate you really from the bottom of my heart. I've seen a lot of growth in you personally and artistically and musically,
Tom, from the bottom of my heart, man, you can kiss my ass.
He had to.
From the bottom of my heart, you can kiss my ass.
What's the reason behind it? I need to know why.
See, yes, there's got to be a reason, Marshall. Sometimes a reason is not needed.
He just fed up.
Let the people know.
Marshall's being a heathen.
That's right.
Kobe.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh. That's a good way to start it off.
Starting off.
Oh man.
This is good.
He lived up to the name of the ginger ale. Very bold starting off.
Yes. We're not fucking around today.
I think that's the kiss my ass.
That's right.
I choked up on this ginger ale twice before even drinking it.
If you just would have ended it with an A, like the Canadian, that would have just set it off.
This a little South Park dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was starting it off.
Oh man. Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I appreciate it. Both of y'all. Because with every good notion, I need a
little yin and yang. Gotta keep
that's
it humble.
right. Come on.
I need to be reminded that I need to kiss somebody's ass once in a while.
Hey,
we all do, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all do. You
That's
can't
what
let
makes
that
the
get
world
to your
go
head.
round.
That's right.
Yeah. So let's get right into the meat. Usually I just go ahead and ask people what the name means.
Okay.
Where they got it from, because
Okay.
I know if you want to go through the evolution of your names, that's kind of what we did with some of them, like where you started, or you can just start with the name that you have now and go backwards. It doesn't matter.
It started. I started off as Lafayette Outlaw. That was when I was circular. And then as I emerged into my walk with Christ Jesus, not the church, it went to Church Boy. Then after I say that because I was Church Boy because I was like, everything was so churchy, right? And I didn't know Jesus really like I needed to, right? And then I went through a situation in my life, which I'll get into later, but I went through a situation and then that changed. And everybody was like calling me a heathen. And ironically, I was born in a pagan religion. I was born like Luciferian. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people that heard my testimony, they know. But ironically, after I done gave my life to God, and I go through a situation, and I didn't know how to get through the situation, and I say like to stand on my own 2 feet, I was slipping and falling in a way. And the people that supposed to been encouraging me and being there for me, they were calling me a heathen. So I'm like, oh, God, I just can't get you out of my system, for one, now that I got you. I don't want to go back to where I was, so what do I do from here? And he was like, keep the name. I said, what? Do you know what they're going to think? He said, I don't care what they think. Keep the name and change the spelling. Excuse me. I said, change the spelling. He said, yeah, but you're going to keep the same letters in the name. I said, what? He said, let me give you a revelation. He said, heathen is spelled H-E-A-T-H-E-N. He said, keep the H, take the E, turn it backwards. which means you're not never turning your back on me. But at the same time, it's now a 3. I said, ooh. He said, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I said, ah. He said, the A. He said, all right, now turn it to the side toward the 3. He said, now I'm greater, THEN, than anything in your life. And then mezzanine. A mezzanine, if you know what a mezzanine is. Anybody, y'all know what a mezzanine is? It's usually in an airport, but it's also a fancy name for the middle. It's like the lobby. It's yes, up top. Yep. It's not. It's something higher and it's something lower, but it's also in a higher place itself. He said mezzanine. This way you'll know I am above and I am below, and you are in the middle. So you'll never get egotistical, arrogant. You will stay humble. No matter what situations in life, you will always know. And even when things get, you go through a storm or a situation or being tried, know that I'm in control of all this. You're in the middle. You're in the mezzanine. So I was like, yo, heathen mezzanine. So that's
the best origin story we got yet. Best name origin. So heathen.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. So he greater than.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the 3.
Yeah.
With the E.
That's dope.
Yeah. I remember when you had kind of put that out, and our mutual friend D. Christ was like, what does that mean? I was like, so I was kind of waiting to
He was like,
waiting how this is going to get answered.
Yes. He even messaged me. He was like, bro, really, heathen?
Hey,
you gonna
man.
go to heathen? I was like,
Man.
it's a deep thing to it. And I broke it to him, and he was like, whoa.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it when they would shut the mouth of the religious.
Yeah.
I love it because they first think about that heathen. No, we got to call. No, you're not gonna call me nothing else because there's other people out here that you call that you know you done called that.
But the fact that you used that, I mean, you used what was thrown at you, again, that's. I mean, you didn't even have to change the letters up.
No.
That was good enough on its own right there.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah, it was none of my doing because I was just as
That's pretty good.
baffled as
I like
anybody
that.
else.
Yeah, I like that.
I told my wife and she was like, "What?" I was like, I'm sticking with. She still won't call me heathen.
I'm just picturing D. Christ's face reading that. He's probably like,
He's like,
I love him.
He was like,
much love.
he was like, "You go back to being circular."
But he said a different word. I
Yeah,
guess.
Yes. There was like a few F-bombs and everything.
LOL.
Yes.
We all know D. Christ.
Oh man, love that guy.
I've been
man.
knowing D. Christ a long time.
Yes, man.
He's going to be in one of our podcasts, but he's going to be the dude that's going to interview somebody.
Oh, Lord.
Are you going to script the questions for him, or are you just going to let him have
I'm going to be the guest for one of them, and then we're just going to have a random other person. And it's going to be a good. Okay.
It'll be me and you and D. Christ as interviewers.
Yeah, that's
going to be great.
You can come help. You can come
Oh man, I'm just gonna come and mediate.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I took him down to Miss Frida's one time, and he was like, "This is good food." I said, "Man, Miss Frida know what she's doing."
Yes, man.
I love that dude, man. You talk about humility and stuff. We've talked about in the podcast before. I had to be humble before I could take a step forward because I was like way up here, dude. And first time I met D. Crisis in person was at Sword Saturday at somewhere else tavern, and but we had talked through MySpace and all that shit. You know, we were both in the scene, and he was like, "Hey man, it's nice to meet you, D. Crisis." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I know you, whatever." And he was like, "Man, I tried to do a song with you, and you tried to charge me for it."
Well, that's kind of how it works.
That's the business.
he said, "You said you weren't gonna do it unless I paid you." And I was like, "Man, just send me the instrumental. I'll get on it. I don't care."
See?
Yeah.
Face to face experience.
It does.
Changes everything.
It absolutely does.
It does, man. It does.
Oh my God.
Woo. Much love to D. Crisis.
Yeah, much love to D. Crisis. I know he gonna probably catch this.
Yeah.
He will.
Yeah.
He will. He's good with that.
Very good dude. Very good dude.
So let's talk about kind of explain the type of music that you make currently.
Well, I don't make no music. I got ghostwriter. I don't make no music because a lot of times, like, I be so busy. I work 2 jobs and being a dad and everything. It's like I really don't have the time. But then it's like I spend my time with God, and then from situations that take place, it's like I get this urge, and I can't put it down. I'll be at work even if I get in trouble, and I have to write. Or I have to put on my record and blah, 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 put it away. Then when I get home, get the moments of sitting on the toilet or something, I gotta get that out. And I'm talking about them.
Both of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm getting that out, you know. And next thing I know, it's a song. But it's stuff that, like, a lot of times I'll be like, I know I couldn't have done that. I know I couldn't have come up with that. And so the type of music I do that God allowed me to, I say it's Christ-like music. I don't like saying this because I found out, man, this gospel rap industry, man, bro, it's more circular than circular.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, bro. The grimiest of the grime.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it's just like the church.
I can imagine,
bro. You have different my pastor, like, he's straight unchurched dude. He's like, don't put your expectations on people. Put your expectations on God. Because see, this is where a lot of hurt come from. Because people have the expectations set up for people to say what they're gonna do, just like we was talking about earlier. And I have my expectations set up for a lot of duet songs, collabs, and everything. And man, I had a conversation earlier with my boy Voice of Ray, and I was like, you know what, man? Sometimes it's like, dog, would it be easier going back to being circular? Because to actually sit down and write a song with somebody back, I remember being circular, it was so easy, you know? Getting the beat. Now, the way some of these Christians are, I'm just like, yo, get out of the way of God, get out of yourself, and just let stuff happen. So it's like sometimes it's very discouraging being a Christian rapper. So I just like to say, man, I'm a Christ-like rapper. I'm not religious, for one. Not religious as far as thinking I'm holier than thou.
The traditional sense.
Yeah, the traditional sense. No, no, that don't fly with me.
Spiritual.
Right. Because I have a lot of quarrel with, like, I wouldn't say quarrel. I expose a lot of false doctrines, you know, and it wouldn't have never been exposed if I didn't recognize that it was put on me and I seen it in me. Then I went and read the word for myself, deciphered it, and when I deciphered it, and then it's like, yo, what you doing here ain't right. And then it's like, the worst part of it is you done brainwash folk. So now it's like, I see how it's passed down from tradition. It's traditionalized. It's normalized. And that's why people don't want to follow Jesus.
Yeah, and it hurts folks.
Facts.
And then it's put onto their children.
Man, you're absolutely right. And what's going on right now in this state in particular, you know,
Facts.
It's a lot of what you're talking about relates to that, you know.
Yes.
Because there's people acting as if they're acting for
Jesus.
God,
Yes.
Jesus.
You talking about down in Moore County?
Yeah.
Exactly. I was talking with my wife about it yesterday. And first thing come out my mouth was, God didn't tell that woman to do that. God didn't tell them people to do that.
Right.
God said, I am love. Christ recognized.
Something else told him to do it.
I tell him the devil told him to do it. The devil's offer of confusion. And it don't matter how the confusion is made. It don't matter what's manipulated or what is perverted. As long as there is some confusion and there's trouble to happen and there ain't no love in the situation. If God would have told them people to do it, protest if that's the thing.
Yeah.
But don't go hurt a whole community. Come on, that's worse than mass murder in a way. Because even on the news they said somebody died.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Old man died.
Old man died from lack of.
cold.
They don't know, but they do know it's
Found
because
him
he
dead.
had lack of lack of lighting, no electricity. So now you done committed murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You done committed murder. When they find out, it's like, yo, you really did. So, okay, you heard God tell you to go shoot up a substation, and the people that you wanted to stop, you didn't even stop because they can still have their situation, but you done killed somebody in the process. Mm-hmm. That's confusion.
Yep.
God didn't have nothing to do with that.
No.
That's these people, man. They so caught up in themselves and what they not. You know, if Jesus, we all been betrayed in some type of way. Facts. Mm-hmm. If Jesus can wash Judas's feet and still love on him, and he didn't kill him, honestly, Judas killed himself from self-conviction, his own convictions, what he did to Jesus. So I don't see this situation going to happen in Moore County being a godly movement. I don't see all I see is the enemy. I don't see no God in that, man.
But see, and that's the problem that we're facing. Like you said, what's turning a lot of people away
against,
is
right?
Because they're gonna say, because it was against the
LBGTQ.
Yeah, because it was against that community,
right?
That immediately gives it religious backing.
Exactly.
Immediately.
A lot of folk don't know. Like, okay, my brother homosexual. My sons is homosexual, and from when I was molested at a young age, I grew up in a state of being in homosexuality. I did homosexual things. I've told people part of in my testimony, and I thank God. And a lot of people are like, "What is he about to say?" I thank God it happened to me. Because I was able to be liberated in my liberation through him, but able to speak to people like saying, you know what, I could talk to somebody about Christ that don't live completely that type of lifestyle. Because there's Christians out here that are homosexual. Okay, let's just be real. They got faith too, but if you want them in your heart to truly let that go, like some have, but some haven't. If you really want that, you can't input hate in their heart. You can't force it in there over. Christ says some things have to move on. It has to be yourself to move, right? You got to recognize it yourself. Can't nobody tell you. Your own vain convictions will change you. Not somebody just beating you over the head. No, love on them. Never does.
It never works.
Love on some people, man. That's what helped change me. I got loved by folk, and not saying they didn't bring stuff up, but they loved on me. They gave me truth. And eventually, I let stuff go in my life. So it was never like somebody beat me over the head or nah, man. People loved me loved the hell out of me, literally. That's what happened. And people don't, people got their own version of love, and they don't want to be liberated by Christ. They use their own version of love on folk. And when you be like, yo, this is love. No, it ain't. Go decipher what love means. Love means let that person live their lifestyle. And if they die that way, that's the way they die. That's it. At least be that light in their life to where they have the opportunity to have some type of love in their life. That's what it's about. Some people ain't never ever felt real love in their life. Always being persecuted, talked about, and shut down. But just love on the person. My lifestyle ain't gonna be the same as yours. Your lifestyle ain't the same as his. Your lifestyle ain't the same as mine, Blaze. But we still sitting in the same room and in the same instant say,
Yep.
But the world can't do that. And even the people that supposed to be able to do that won't do that because they in they self and not Christ Jesus. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. But I mean, you're absolutely right. Look, we could go hours on that. I promise.
Facts.
I promise you, because and like you talked about, like Christian hip hop community is one of the most toxic that exists.
Very, very.
You're talking about but I don't know, man, because we don't need to get into a religious conversation.
No.
But I've always felt the same way. Like, there's a difference in having a relationship with God or having a relationship with Jesus and being a Christian.
Come on,
because Christian is organized, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people act through absolute hate in, with a cross on their neck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, like, I see the protests. We did a Pride Festival, right? So there's religious protesters out there.
Right.
And I can't help but go and see something like that and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, because do you think, what good do you think you're doing here? Like, so to me, I don't see someone going to a festival like that, holding up a sign and saying, I'm going to turn people over today. It's simply ego. Simply personal ego.
That's it.
Because I'm going to go there and I'm going to make people feel uncomfortable and it's going to make me feel better, and it's personal ego.
That's right.
But they do it in the name of, the church.
Right.
XYZ.
They do it in the name of church, but they're trying to say they do it in the name of God.
Right.
And it's not.
And like I said, never works.
Never.
All you're doing is pushing people away.
Pushing people away.
Further away when you're trying to do the opposite.
Yes.
Just seems ignorant to me. I don't know.
Yeah, keep on the conversation if that's what you want to go. This is not. Don't say I hate to get on this topic.
Why go somewhere?
Like
I put it like this: why go somewhere you really don't want to go?
Yeah.
Okay. No, and I'm just saying that because, okay, let's say it's a pride event going on, right? Why, if it's something in your beliefs, why go to a place that's totally opposite of belief? It's like actually putting gas to a fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I say that to say, in the same aspect, me being me, I've learned that I minister better not going to an event, but just living my regular life. So if we pass by, just so happened to be passing by, I didn't say I just knew I was going to meet you, but just so happened that I passed by somebody that is homosexual and a conversation is started, and the views that are in my heart, I speak on with kindness and love and not in a bullying manner, and I'm speaking it with love or something. And then at the end of the conversation, it ends with, you know what, dog, this was pretty dope. Yeah, it was. So, you know what? Let's swap info or whatever, anything. All right, I'll see you later. All right, see you later. Have a great day. Mm-hmm. I go home, think about the conversation of what they said. They go home, think about the conversation of what I said. Who's to say that later down the road, or right at that moment, that there were seeds that were planted in that person's life, to where they end up later saying, you know what? I do have something. There's something that's just dealing with me. And then they say, you know what, later down the road, then that person decides to change their life. There was more done in that moment, unpredictable moment that took place, than me going to an event that have nothing to do with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's not just that it doesn't work, right?
Right.
It's that it does the opposite of what you're trying to do.
Right.
If you really,
it used to work for people. That's the thing.
I don't believe it even worked then, bro.
I mean, it didn't. It reeled them in. It reeled people in, followers, fake followers.
There you go.
But now people are now seeing it as doing the opposite effect.
Yes.
So this old man that was there, I remember who you're talking about. Mm-hmm. The older guy. It might have worked when he was a teenager. He might have got 50 people to say, "Oh yeah, fuck all them."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking that that's still how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And thankfully, people are realizing that this is.
Let people live their life.
Like love and love, so many people have that, and it sounds so cliche that love is the way, and it really is.
It absolutely is.
And that's the only way we're going to get to the next point in humanity.
That's it.
In civilization, in brotherhood and sisterhood, and
motherhood
and fatherhood.
I'm of the belief that there's only three paths to being shitty. I don't know the better way to describe it. All right? The three paths to being like in a bad place, right?
Right.
It's either you were bred into it, as in your parents put it on you, because hate doesn't exist in a small child.
You're right.
Racism
doesn't
doesn't exist in a small
child.
It's taught, and I don't care what anyone says about it.
You're right.
You are mentally ill, which,
That's happened. That happens.
Or the main one is trauma.
Come on.
And so again, if you if you have trauma-based hate, which is massive, and very, very strong, trauma-based resentment, Like,
Yes.
I hate that group of people because something happened to me and I
Right.
blame them for that. Trauma-based resentment is huge.
Yes.
But again, you can't heal from trauma from someone saying it doesn't exist.
Right.
Saying that, you're crazy for believing that
Right.
it even affects you.
Right.
Or, manning up and tying you up by your bootstraps. You don't heal through trauma in that.
That's
in that
right.
way. And so that's, I don't know. You can only heal through it by facing it. And again, if you're shunned every single time that it's even brought up, you're not going to get there. So
I'll
it's
tell you
just a strange
something that a
journey.
lot of folk ain't even thinking about when it comes to homosexuality. And God showed me this, man. Our food is pumped up with steroids and all different kinds of stuff now, right?
Yeah.
And adults eat this food and take it, and pregnant women, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I can, in my heart, I can actually, man, I'm going to go ahead and say it, because two things. To say I'm born that way, some actually are. Because the chemicals that we have these days ain't what was in back in the day. It was more natural back in the day. Now, there are more chemicals and everything. And the body, everybody, we can see how the young folk growing, they look like as old as us now.
Mm-hmm.
Different, and if it's affecting age, it affects other things too.
Right.
So in a way, you do gotta let people be people and find their way. And I say that's for this new generation. It is. I mean, if back in the day there was Mephodites, come on. All I see now in us is just evolving, okay, and in different manners. So you gotta let people be people. Just love them. But here's another thing, and I blame the parents for this. Because some people are born with two genders. And you know what you hear mostly from parents? I want a boy.
Mm-hmm.
I want a girl.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't wait to see how the child is going to act. They don't wait to see what they're actually going to get. They make the choice when the child is first born. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what you want. And God showed me this a while back. This is my first time even voicing this, bro. So I thank you. I don't care if I lose followers or whatever. It don't follow me, follow Jesus anyway. And if you love him that much, he gonna show you this. Because a lot of parents want what they want instead of saying, parents, put yourself in the situation. You've been wanting a son for so many years, but you have a child that has actually two genders. You don't wait years down the road. Why? Because I wonder what people are going to say about my family, what they're going to say about my child. Imagine how a person feels that has a child that has Down syndrome or autistic. You put yourself in their shoes. No, wait. Have enough respect for that child when it doesn't have a voice. Have enough respect for that child to grow to a certain point so you know what you got.
And accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then say, okay, if I got a girl or I got a boy. Then we can go, because then the child can say, I'm a boy. Okay, you a boy? We can go get this sewn up. Or if you a girl, okay, we can get this. You know what I'm saying? No. You want to do the total opposite. Get it?
Yeah, some parents can be the worst. It's just like them talking about, hey, this is going to be a basketball player.
See?
From day one.
That pressure, immediate pressure. Yeah.
Immediately.
And this is a good point. This is a very good point because it's, people say it starts at home. People
It does.
These cliche things are not as shouldn't be swept under the rug so easily.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. If the parents are not in the mindset to accept what this person is going to be like, let alone like
how
you
they're
said,
going to identify.
how they're going to identify. Yeah, like you have to be a parent, a father or a mother, and push that shit to the side. And I see that a lot, especially growing up. And it's not even. It's that mentality. It doesn't have to be directed towards homosexuality or or what you like.
Because parents will hold that in everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like,
you got to do.
You're gonna like broccoli. You're gonna like
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna like pizza.
Yeah.
You're gonna like this. And like a lot of parents aren't that way, but a lot of parents are.
Yeah.
Right.
And that gets down to a point where, that is something we need to challenge ourselves as a community of men, of individuals that were here, of women, of anybody that just let's challenge ourselves to be better parents. And that's what I'm doing. He's about to be a father.
Yeah,
so we're trying to.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a son. So,
Oh,
yeah.
great.
What did you want?
Oh, we're hoping.
Surprise! you still never know.
Look, but you're right with the pressure and
I mean, it comes back to exactly what you're saying. The ego.
because a lot of times that pressure comes from something that the parent wasn't able to achieve in life,
Right.
Or something that the parent was self-conscious about, or insecure about. They don't want to pass that insecurity on to their
That's
child.
right.
Like, it's terrible for girls because you got to be pretty. You got to be a cheerleader. You got to put on the makeup. You got to wear this. And again, if there's ever anything that's pushed onto a child for religious reasons, another way that child ain't going to be religious.
That's right.
Because and that's the unfortunate thing too, is because as a parent you have so much power over your child, you can manipulate him very easily.
Right.
And so you could you could pull a piece of scripture that would tell you shouldn't eat chocolate.
Right.
Now imagine telling your child, like, you keep eating that chocolate, you're going to hell.
Right.
Man, I'm gonna eat my chocolate. You
Right.
know, like,
they gonna
like
eat
y'all
that
are
chocolate.
wrong.
Right. Exactly.
And again, that's and I think that's a big part of it.
Right.
And because I am pro LGBTQ.
Right.
Just want to make that clear.
Right.
But like if a child is growing up confused,
Right.
and they have parents that are like, no,
Right.
this is the way that it is.
Right.
That's not only going to push them away from the parent, but where can they get acceptance in this group? That's why you're seeing the group, expand so largely, because like, we'll accept you, and that's all a kid really wants is love and acceptance.
Love and acceptance.
Right.
So, I mean,
To be loved on, like
Right.
Exactly. To be loved on,
for who
and,
they are.
I mean, we're social animals,
And we still won't know who we are until the day, even when we die, we
Yeah.
still won't know who we are.
right?
That's
So we're
right.
always searching for that.
Always.
And
Absolutely.
so, like, not even knowing who you are yet, and not knowing that you will never know who you are, is a challenge. So
Yeah.
you're a teenager, and you got to say, hey, you still won't know who you are until, it's
I like
long
saying
gone.
that every day you grow. Every day is an opportunity more and more to grow and be liberated. And I fell in love with the fact of being liberated. And I know a lot of people, they don't like it. But I love growth. I love changing. And I found in my walk that I'm in now, like, every day, I posted today, I said, some of y'all call it life, but I call it being tried. Because no matter what, and every day, I got an opportunity to be better than yesterday, but today, I'm going to go through something. I'm going to go through something, or more than one thing, that's going to test who I am and where I am, even in Christ. No matter what. And I put my
That's
wife on
everybody,
this.
too. That's
Everybody.
Yeah.
Matthew 11:30. Matthew chapter 11, verse 30. Jesus talks about people suffering, but it's easier to suffer with Him. And we talk about, because you like talking about prayer.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, I found that, like, where I was before Christ, I suffered a lot, man. I was on drugs. Like, I'm talking like bad, like cocaine. I was doing meth and didn't even know it. I was smoking that synthetic weed, and I thought it was because I was on probation. So I was like, well, I got to put down the pot, but I can smoke this. I was getting the chemical JWH18 straight from Kentucky University and putting it on, lacing it with acetone and spraying it on like lavender and blueberry leaves and stuff of that nature and selling it. And it was 10 times stronger than marijuana. And I kept wondering, why in the world is this stuff so doggone strong? I was putting people in seizures. Come to find out, I didn't find out till 2 years ago that it had actually methamphetamine in it. So for like 4 or 5 years, I was smoking synthetic cannabis with methamphetamines. So I'm doing hard drugs, with pills and everything. And I ended up, man, in a place in my life where I had nowhere to live. And a friend of mine let me stay in his house that was about to be foreclosed. I go to that place. And man, this was my come to Jesus moment. I was like, he had some roommates that peed on all of my wardrobe and threw them in rat feces. And at the time, I was just wearing blue jeans, white shirt, and Chuck Taylors. And that was just my get up, and the chain with the wallet. That was, and I'm like, yo, you just destroyed my whole wardrobe. So I didn't go out. I stayed in the house doing drugs. And then, out of nowhere, man, I had prayed that God come help me. And he sent a high school friend, that I didn't even speak to. This person had been looking for me with her husband. That's the part that blew my mind. You done actually got your husband to even say, we gonna go look for this man? So already at the gate, I thought that was kind of fishy from coming from my background. Like, oh, this is some weird, freaky stuff.
Sound like setup.
Yeah. But on the real, she was searching for me. She told me that God told her to come looking for me and to give me a place to stay. I could rent a room. So I started renting a room at her house and didn't tell the landlord. The landlord was this cool dude named Danny Kinley. And she was like, don't tell my brother. That was the landlord. She was like, don't tell him you stay here. Nothing. Just tell me you're a friend. You stay, I was like, okay, cool. But he ended up finding out. And he come asking me some questions and everything. Dude smoked weed, had his own business, still got his own business. But the main thing that he come out to me is like, you believe in God? And start asking me questions about God, man. From that point, we started holding church in his living room. He okayed me staying there. See, I started feeling loved. And gradually, I stopped doing the spice. Gradually, I stopped doing the coke. I stopped candy flipping with the pills. And the last thing, it was like, honestly, the hardest thing for me to quit was cigarettes. The hardest thing.
That's typical.
But I was at a point, though, where I'm like, man, I need something else has got to happen. I need a deeper experience. And I went to go, he was tending to the garden, man, and I walked out there. He said, Mark, I want to tell you something, bro. I had a dream that you died. I said, what? He said, I had a dream that you died, that you choked to death. And I was like, there's no way that can happen. I was like, whatever, bro. Let's go smoke that weed. And then I had the fleshly desire to go buy one more bag of spice. And I went and bought that bag. When I went and bought that bag, I'm telling you, when you smoke spice, like weed give you munchies. But with spice, the munchies never stop. Every joint you smoke, you continually eat. You continue to drink. Whatever you're doing, it's nonstop. So I ordered like 2 pepperoni pizzas, some hot wings, and a chill wine. So I'm in the room about 10 o'clock at night, grubbing like crazy, eating, and I fall asleep. I fall asleep on my bed like this. And the next thing I know, I wake up in the middle of the night gagging. I got food stuck in my throat. I wake up and I can't breathe. I can't breathe. My bathroom, I actually had a bathroom in my bedroom that's separated between the other bedroom. It was like right through the door, and then the toilet was like right here to the right. So I'm like gagging. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm literally about to die. And I heard in a still small voice say, go to the bathroom. Fall on the toilet. Go to the bathroom and fall on the toilet. Go to the bathroom. Fall on the toilet. So I go to the bathroom in a Russian manner and turn right over. Fall on the toilet. When I hit the toilet, it hit me right here in the middle of my chest and my solar plexus and threw up all the food.
Damn. Like a self-Heimlich?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And I'm like, and then the first thing that popped in my mind was, didn't Danny tell you that you was going to choke and die? Man, I got up. I threw all that stuff in the trash. I ran over to Danny's house, banging on the door like 3 o'clock in the morning. He come to the door. What the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing? You know it's 3 o'clock in the morning, Marco. Why are you crying? Oh, bro, what's wrong? I was like, man, I just almost died, bro. I literally about choked to death. He said, man, I told you what God told me. He said, man, look. He sat me down, man. He said, bro, this is like 10 years ago, man. He said, look. He said, God told me, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what else he told me. He said, man, if you chase him, you ain't going to be perfect, but if you chase him, he said he going to bring your heart's desire. He going to put you in this music. I hadn't even thought about music, bro. I had to quit doing music, literally quit. He said he going to put you back in Christian. He going to put you in the Christian rap. He going to do all these things for you, bro, but he said you got to put him first. I was like, man. After that day, I started taking Jesus more seriously. I started recognizing about prayer and faith. And up until now, it's even like it continually evolves to where like it's like every day, man, God take like he be looking to see like how you talk to that person that you just walked by. The other person that you walk by, you know, I told you to just say hey to him. I'm not holding you accountable with that, but I'm just checking to see where your heart really is. Oh, you in your mind, you thought about something bad about that person. These things, a lot of people don't take account of how this stuff is so important. Because God showed me when you can shut up and listen, you'll see him move in an abundance. First thing he says in his word is to wait on me. We live in this microwave community. We want it now, when we want it, how we want it. And he's saying no, because the way you wanted it, look at how many times you wanted something your way and you good with it. It messed up. But if you just wait on me, it ain't going to happen one way the way you want it. But that's good, because I'm trying to show you how to trust me. Because if you can trust me, you won't have no problem with waiting. And when you can wait and trust, things will move in a timely, perfective manner to where it is totally ordained. It's like you'll step in this thing to where something told you to go to Walmart and you went. And when you went there, it was more than just going to get groceries. You had an actual experience that made you stop for a moment and be like, yo, okay, I got to be on the right track or nothing like this ever would have happened. I live literally every day of my life like that. And bro, I don't go to church, but maybe once, if that, a month. Because I have what you said, I spend time with him personally, praying, talking, just regularly talking to him, and waiting. The Bible say a still small voice. He's a still small voice. It ain't that loud voice that be telling you the doubts and everything. Like, no, it's a still small voice that you got to wait and be quiet to hear it. And when you hear it, it's like, it's always what you don't want to hear. but you know you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that again. It's what you don't want to hear, and what you don't want to do, but you know if you did it, it would be effective. Those three things is what I started like trying to pay more attention to. And I ain't been in the church. God gave me a ministry. I don't have a congregation, but he gave me a world to touch folk, to speak to people. And he definitely, when I used to tell people, God don't want your money, man. He don't want your money. He could care less about money. Well, then why is it made? God didn't make money. Man made money. We were supposed to barter, which I love so dope. That's when Ty asked me about being in the seventh circle. He ain't say nothing about no money. He said, I do this for you. I mean, you do this for me, I do this for you. That right there, because I could care less about dollars. That right there already told me, okay, this is a God moment. This is a God experience. The things like that, that's how it's like moving like that. I try to tell people in the church giving these pastors they money, and then when their bills come, you ain't got no way to pay your bill. But you're supposed to be able to go to the church and ask the church. So what? You going to the church now asking for the money that you done gave them? No. God don't want your money. He want this. Because if he's able to mold your heart, he can use you. And when he can use you, it'll move mountains. It'll help bring people to love. Money is one of the main assets right now that is destroying this country and this world. Because for attention, now with the gram, the book, you feel what I'm saying? Me, pay me, YouTube, the views, money for attention just to see me. Nah, I very seldom will go live. People be like, why don't you promote yourself? Nah, because I like moving undercover. I like moving underground. I don't want to be seen. Because you know what? I get killed if they put me on too big. I'll be one of them like, yay. I'll end up possibly getting, you can't cancel me because I don't need your money, okay? So the only thing you can do is kill me. But in that, I gain. So it's like, starting off with what we said, that they so traditionalized in this religion, and they have nothing personal with it. Why go to your pastor for prayer when you should be able to sit down at home and carry a conversation with him and wait for him to answer you back? Man,
you got to be open to listening.
Come on.
That's a big part of it.
Big part.
Yeah.
Me seeing where I used to be, hard-headed, arrogant, and very aggressive, like Ty said. But he broke that down, man. And you can still see my aggressiveness in the way I speak now. But it's in my passion. It's like I've experienced things, man.
Channeled it.
Yeah.
That's because I imagine this energy, but like yelling at me about some shit I just did wrong. Plus a couple drinks, man. Aggressive is a good word for that.
Yeah. We have butted heads a couple times.
Yes, yeah. 5 months ago, 6 months ago, man, I didn't look like this. 5 months ago, I had half my lip, bro. 6 months ago, my own dog bit half my lip off. And folk be like, you didn't kill him? Nah, I ain't kill him. Because come to find out, my wife, years ago, she had an ex-husband. And he used to beat on her. He used to beat the dog. The dog got bad PTSD. Never ever had an intimate moment with an alpha male. So one morning, I'm going to work, giving my dog a kiss. my other dog Moses. Then I go to Kong. I get down to give Kong a kiss. Snap, take half of my lip. Now the first thing I was like, oh, I gotta get my lip. I gotta go. So we got to do. So I go to the hospital, get everything taken care of. But then you can imagine what's going through my mind. Man, I'm gonna be ugly. Is my wife gonna want me? I look disfigured. All these things going through my mind. And God said, talk to me, cause I'm doing something that you have no idea. And I'm like, how you gonna do something with this? You done allowed half of my lip. And he was like, yeah, you said it right. I allowed it for a purpose. So then we go, he has to get locked up for 11 days. He gets locked up for 11 days. After 11 days, we get to go get him. Because they wanted to kill him. They put him up high. Like, he's like number 2 on the North Carolina pit. Chinaman pit. Yeah. He's number 2 on North Carolina's most vicious dog list now. So they want to take him to get therapy. We went and had therapy together. Come to find out, because of the PTSD that he had, and he never had an intimate moment with an alpha male, me getting in his face, that triggered something, because he had never felt that presence of love.
He didn't know what to do.
He didn't know what to do. Now remember, you just said that he didn't know what to do, right? Yeah. But his normal reaction to somebody in a male being close to him was defense. Okay? I got home. I sit down. This man now, he gets up, jumps up on the bed, and starts kissing this area. Still in stitches and everything. And rubbing it. And I'm like, yo, hold on, this is hurts. You know what I'm saying? They got me on pills, and he's like, and I'm like, wait a minute. He know what he just did. Right? He know what he did. And God said, nah, I want to show you a little something deeper. What you just experienced with your dog is the same way people are about love. I said, what? He said, yeah, this is why I let this happen. I said, what? He said, a lot of people don't know true intimacy. So whenever real love comes along, the only thing they know to do is what they're used to in the defense mode.
Yep.
Right. Fight or flight.
That's right.
He said, but what you need to do is do exactly what the veterinarian told you. I said, you talking about don't be mean to him? And they said, exactly. Yeah. Because this is where he learned something new. You had to be hurt in order for real love to be effective. And that's what's wrong with people. Too afraid to be hurt in order to really love folk. And that's what was wrong with the man that was at the Pride Festival. That's what's wrong with people when they don't want to. I'm not used to it. So what if you're not used to it? It's about a love experience, man. What you're not used to, throw that out the window. Take a risk. What's life without risk? Live a little bit. So you went on a vacation. You went to Korea. Or you went to California, you went to the Aspens and had a great time. But have you really had an experience, a risk in your life that will impact somebody else? Putting your own comfort at risk. That right there. When I had that moment right there, it's like, God just liberated me even more, and it was like, yo, this is what people need. Stop being afraid. If somebody from the hood ain't scared to go to the suburbs, somebody from the suburbs ain't scared to go to the hood, if gay people ain't afraid to go to church, then why in the world is the church afraid to go to a Pride Festival? And you know what? You ain't gotta say nothing. Just say, you know what? We love you.
That's all you gotta say.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
The passion, man.
Because guarantee you that dog at some point in time was vulnerable to it, man.
Yes, very much.
Guaranteed at one point, and then he was taught, never do that again.
Never do it again.
Yep.
Now, man, that Bobby walling in the bed all over my face. He still has like he'll just jump up in the bed just to come up and kiss this right here.
Because the dog was bred to love people. For thousands of years, the dog was bred specifically to be responsive to humans, not to be aggressive. You
Right.
put that into a dog.
Come on, just like you said about the kids.
And a pit bull specifically, like, you got to understand how much went into, if there was a pit 100 years ago, if there was a pit that bit a person, that dog thing was going down. They weren't breeding him anymore.
Nope.
Because they were specifically meant as a fighting dog that would not put their mouth on a human. So if you had to break that shit up, somebody could go and break it up and not risk their jugular.
Yep.
I mean, and like pits get a bad rap,
They
but
do.
like you have to face the fact that that's what they were bred for.
Right.
But again, a dog's meant to be loyal to a human. It's in their DNA.
Yep.
That's how selectively they were bred.
Right.
I've got to step real quick to the back.
Yeah, yeah, we in and out. We in and out. We good. The passion, man. We good. We got about 15 more minutes. You good?
Okay. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Sorry.
No, you good. I got my wife sent the picture of the new baby.
Man.
But I gotta show you.
Congratulations.
Gotta show you the ones we took yesterday. We threw them in a little pumpkin.
Oh, you got the pumpkin
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man, he's adorable. That's dope, Ty. Damn. Oh my goodness. What's his name?
His name's Mylan, and then his name's Tioga.
Oh, dope. I like those
Yeah.
names.
Mylan is my wife's name's Megan.
Uh-huh.
My name's Tyler, so it's just both of them together.
Put together.
Megan, M and N from Megan, and YLE from Tyler.
Nice. Dope.
Yeah, and then Tioga's the name of the county that all my family's from in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I was the first Southern boy in my family, so like all my family's from Pennsylvania, and New York.
Yeah, that accent comes out every now and then.
Every now and then, a couple words here and there, especially when I'm rapping.
Yeah.
But I definitely have the Southern twang. Buddies, thank you so much for sticking around, man.
No doubt. Your dog doing good now, man?
Man, that mod, man, I'm telling you, he acts brand new. Like, he's not the same animal.
Yeah.
He's not the same.
I got a rescue that's
15.
the same, where he was in a real abusive place.
Right.
Kicked a lot.
Yeah.
First time I met him, came running up to me, but first time I made a kissing noise near him, caught me. I
Wow.
couldn't get stitches about it because I had the mustache.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh god, they're gonna try to shave over the.
Yes.
But sweetest dog in the world now. 'Cause
See?
he never knew.
Ah, see?
And that's a
Man.
dog. I mean, imagine what
Yeah.
you can do to people.
Right. Exactly.
Facts. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the theme. Even that, going back to what you said before about religion, you just gotta meet people where they are.
Where they
You
are.
can see the potential you can push, but
But also, like-
show them there's good to where you are now and work at it.
That's right.
Well, words like religion, words like Christ, words like God are very overwhelming to a lot of people.
Yes.
If you just replace that with love,
Right.
and you say, follow love,
Yeah.
love has taught me this,
Right.
you'll get a lot further.
Right. Right.
I feel like,
No,
and
it's a point.
I really don't think that you should, I don't think you should speak to someone with intent of conversion.
No.
I think
no.
that's terrible. But just, have a conversation, because a lot of people fall short there too.
Yes.
And the very idea of conversion means I'm right.
Yeah, exactly,
You're not,
exactly.
You're already not me.
Right.
Well, here's
You're
the
like,
thing.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Be like me.
Well,
Right.
dude, and unfortunately, that's like a byproduct. I think that's a big byproduct of a negative byproduct of Christianity in general, is that it's, first of all, it's a lot of I'm right and you're incorrect. That's part of it.
Exactly.
And also, I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going when I die. So why should I? I'm already saved. Why should I try and help this person? Why should I?
That's
With COVID as an example, right? If it's my time, whatever,
Right.
Again, I don't want to get political, but like the masks were meant to prevent you from giving that shit to
Somebody
else.
else.
But it was a whole lot of,
If I
get it, I mean, if I die, whatever, I'm going to heaven. Like, that's
right.
a real
that's
negative.
What a lot of people were saying.
It's a real negative byproduct of Christianity.
Right.
Because, like, you know, Judaism was about acts.
Right.
Acts is what got you there. Christianity is about grace.
Right.
Okay, so, but that's a big, I think that's a big byproduct, big negative byproduct of Christianity, is the whole, I'm going to heaven either way. Why should I help these people? It doesn't matter.
A lot of religious folk, they don't even really know what grace means.
Yeah.
They don't even know what the names of the church really means. Like, I don't. You know, you're talking about also the Southern religion.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's
like,
true. The Bible Belt there is.
It's so different from where I was just talking to him about Pennsylvania. It's so different even there.
Yeah.
And then you get over to Italy and Rome, and it's so extreme there too.
I can imagine.
So like it's we see some pretty bad parts of it, and it's so split off to where
That's comforting.
this word, it is. And you've got somebody like this that it doesn't belong to one.
Right.
He belongs to
Right.
love and his spirituality and his Christ-like, you know.
I tell him straight up, who told you that you was perfect? You know, like you were saying that they like, I'm good, I'm going to go there. Nah, because it don't work like that, because I got to seek him daily, because I'm still messed up, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And
I'm never gonna be perfect till I'm with him. So that means Apostle Paul said, "I will die with a thorn in my flesh, man." And everybody always want to talk. Well, what's the thorn? What's the thorn? Okay, let's just depict what the Bible says. Sin is in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he was saying I've been liberated and changed from many things from my past. Hence, Saul, who became Paul, was a Pharisee, whom was a very religious Christian. That's what Pharisees were. He was a Christian killing Christians. He was killing the Christians that weren't as religious as him. But then he had a Jesus moment, a real literal Jesus moment, and it changed him. So now he's at the point of saying he's become who he was killing, and he's even saying, I'm not perfect. I have something in my flesh still. Yeah, I've been liberated. I've been changed from all these other things. But I'm still not perfect. And then what irks me the most, like Peter Griffin usually says, what grinds my gears. You know what grinds my gears?
Grinds my gears.
These moms parade the word perfect around. If you're going to break down everything else in the Bible, Christians, if you're going to break down everything else, break down what perfect means. Because to people that don't know what perfect means in the Bible, that really messes with them. And then you got them walking around after they think they know what they know, that they really don't know. The word perfect means to mature. That's it. So if I sit here and tell you I'm a perfect person, what's the first thing that come to mind? You a-hole? How in the world are you gonna think that? No,
Kiss
it's
my
real. Right, see? You know? But what if I say
That's what it means.
But what if I say I'm a person every day seeking seeking maturity. I'm trying to mature every day. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Dang, you're gonna say, well, man, that's a person of integrity right there. They trying to build their character.
Right.
But they done put this in, you know, they're not relaying it right. Because if I'm sitting down ministering and teaching and just talking and I'm saying, look, man, I'm imperfect. Shoot, I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday. It's kind of crazy that the same trials that I went through yesterday, I'm going through today just to see how far I come from yesterday than just a few hours ago. So if I can get in the pattern of getting that down and not letting it affect me like it did yesterday, then that means tomorrow when that same the different situation but with the same possible results can happen, then I can check myself like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't get angry when that person said something that could have got me. Or, you know, even when, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it's about, period. Maturing. How ignorant do you look trying to bully people that don't believe what you believe?
Mm-hmm.
But how can you carry yourself in a way of integrity when somebody doesn't believe what you believe? I could just accept them for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And let them see who I am. And if they have trouble even in their own maturing in life, they can come to me. I work with Muslims, bro. I work with Muslims. But they tell me that they see God in me. You understand what that'll mess up the average Christian mind right there.
Yeah.
Because I work with Muslims and I profess Christ. I don't throw Christ down their throat or nothing like that. But just for me living my daily life, being a regular delivery driver, and just you know what I'm saying, being me, they tell me we can see Christ in your life. I told my boss the other day, I got laid off. Y'all been watching the news? The Lane Furniture situation? United Furniture, it's been on Inside Edition, everything. Lane Furniture laid off 2,700 workers overnight.
Mm.
They violated the Warren Act because they were supposed to give us a 60-day.
I did hear about that.
They were supposed to give us a 60-day notice and didn't do it. Now we got a lawyer and everything. We got a big case. This is from California to Mississippi all the way to North Carolina. This is a big thing. Laid off 2,700 workers overnight, okay? And in this process, a lot of folk, like, I didn't have no job, bro, for one day. Now, I just said it, for one day I didn't have a job. Over Thanksgiving holiday. And I'm like, yo, what am I about to do? I'm sitting at work in my delivery job part-time. I'm talking to my boss, and I'm like, man. She was like, don't worry about it. You're a man of God. God's going to handle your situation. He's working something out. I'm like, but we don't believe the same stuff. But God's saying, hi, shut up. Because my Ishmael was also a child of Abraham. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, you're right. Please forgive me.
Yeah.
So he said, don't get so deep into detail. Just know facts.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So my dad works at Klausner. I don't have a close relationship with him, like seeing him every day. Like it's been a long time. I might talk over the phone maybe a few times a year. God tells me, call your dad. You've been at United Furniture for 18 years and just got laid off. Call your dad. Don't ask him for a job. Just call him. So I call him. And he says, I tell him the situation, what happened. He said, for real? He said, well, let me go talk to my boss and I'll call you back. I said, okay. He calls me back less than 10 minutes. He said, you know, the most ironic thing happened when I got off the phone with you. I said, what? He said, I walked in the office and they was talking about United Furniture. Talking about how they laid off and shut down all the plants in the whole country. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah. And I told him that you worked for them for 18 years and about your experience. He said, come on up here and put in the app. You're not temporary, you'll be full time. I said, whew. So I'm going through the process, you know what I'm saying? I actually went backwards, went and did the drug test first and then did the application. So it was like, I'm on already. So I'm like, yo, and I got these people calling me, though, about other jobs. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, God, what are you doing? He said, you know, 2 weeks ago, I brought your brother that you haven't seen in 12 years. 12 years ago, I had a conversation with my brother because he was homosexual, and we didn't speak for 12 years. 2 weeks before that happened, my brother calls me while I'm at the job, the delivery job, telling me how he misses me and how he doesn't even remember why we quit talking, but he's done with not talking to me and wants to be in my life. And I told him the same exact thing. So God is reminding me of that. He said, you know, I'm healing your life. I'm healing your life. The trauma from it, I'm healing it. I said, okay, how you doing that with getting me laid off, God? Because I feel like more trauma. He was like, you got all these opportunities to get a job anywhere else now. But a father that you have not had in your life, I'm about to put him in your life, but it's your choice. Because you got all these other job opportunities. But what would be the best opportunity? Yeah, they might offer you the same amount of money you was just making, this place over here and this place over there. But your dad that you have not had in your life, one, because you sometimes so nervous to be around him, and two, you know he nervous about being around you, but wants you in his life. What's your choice? I said, I'm gonna take this job and go work with my dad, because I get to get back. I can't get the time back from the past, but I can take this future on and build a new and stronger relationship with my dad and get paid at the same time. Take care of my family and take care of my family. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I go tell my boss at the other job, my Muslim people, and they like, I told you, God had the situation. You just have to listen to him. And that's what you did, Marcelo. And it's so beautiful. Just look how God is working in your life. I'm like, that part right there. Forget a church. Forget the religious stuff. That personal relationship, loving folk where they are, just living my life. Because people get so confused. Your ministry, shut up. Your ministry is how you live your life under God. That's it. What's more effective? You being all on the gram talking about what you got, what you're doing, and for the ministry? Or is you actually being effective to the people in your life, in your house? Because God said your first ministry is your home.
We done talked about that a long time.
So are you being effective in your home? Because what good is for you to be effective in the church if people in your home looking at you like you hypocrite? That's like what God been showing me, man. And I guess all my passion really come up because of what I'm witnessing. To even have this opportunity, like, how many Christian rappers you know will even, I don't mean it like in a bad way, be like, but in this environment like this, cussing going around, they be, oh, no. Yeah. Nah, but my house is like that, bro.
Yeah, they do.
You know? So it's like, I'm home. I'm at home. And I wish other Christians could feel like that. I wish they could be like that, because you know why? If they was, they would be more effective. Mm-hmm. But now they're infective. They're an infection. Mm. That's what it is.
You're right.
They're infection, man. It's all this, just it's simple, man. It's simple. And it's good when you're in a place that you're uncomfortable. Because that's when God can work. He's called the comforter. Why am I going to be in a situation in my life always comfortable if I'm supposed to have the comforter with me? No, I'm supposed to take a risk on stuff. I'm supposed to jump outside of the box.
Too mature.
Too mature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You can't mature being in the same. No, you got to take chances, man. And I don't see the body of Christ taking chances, because last time I checked, when he died for me, when he died for everybody, he took the biggest chance ever. Because he did it for people that didn't. He even did it for people. We talk about love, right? Love of people that don't believe what you believe. He even died for them. He died for them. Now, he didn't give them $1. He didn't give him 1,000. He didn't give him 1,000,000.
He didn't like the gram.
He didn't like the gram. He wasn't on the book looking for the views. He wasn't burning Yeezys. He wasn't burning Balenciagas.
He sure as shit wasn't shutting down power
But
stations.
shutting down
in Moore
power,
County.
popping power. No, he was dying for folk.
Mhm.
He died, and the crazy thing is, he didn't expect him to pull back up. And what he do? He pulled back up. So what are we doing, followers? You gonna take the risk? Are you scared to die? Then don't put on the cloth. Don't rock it. Don't wear it, because I get offended. Don't rock the shroud. Don't bring the name up if you're just doing it for the money, doing it for the clout. Because you do it for the clout, you're going to miss the cloud. Get right, man. And I'm not perfect. Just get better. We're trying to be effective out here, not an infection.
That's word.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a movie goer.
Yes.
So two last things. This question.
Okay.
Have you seen the honk for Jesus? Honk in the name of Jesus or whatever.
I've heard about it and I want to see it.
Yeah, this is like addressing exactly what you're talking about.
What?
It's like it's a couple in Atlanta, and it's
You talking about the couple? Something happens and the congregation go down and everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then they move to another church.
Uh-huh.
And they're trying to reopen their church,
Right.
and gain all the followers and pull followers from that church over. It's a dark it's a comedy,
Right.
but it's exactly what you're talking about. And I think like Atlanta is notorious for those types of churches. So watch that, and we'll talk about it next time.
Facts.
And then the last question is: we're here in Asheboro.
Yeah.
And I have a very deep love-hate relationship with Asheboro. I think we talked about this at Lumina last time.
Yes.
So, you know, you living in Asheboro, around Asheboro for most of your life, or all your life. What do you think improvements should be? What would be not a perfect, because we just talked about perfect.
Yeah.
We'll use the word mature. How do you think that Asheboro could mature as a city? Not necessarily focused in on one aspect of it, but what do you think is standing in the way of Asheboro becoming its potential, reaching its potential?
Help me, Lord.
Speak freely.
Asheboro likes to have events. Asheboro needs to step out of his comfort zone. It needs to experience each other. And I mean, you can do that with the I know they have a lot of things with the bicentennial and those things like that. And music's good. Dancing is good. But I mean, like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it like this. I don't think this is ever gonna happen. Okay? I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I'm just a realist. But your will be done, Lord. Okay, let's have a meet and greet, man. Just like right now. No music, no dancing. Okay, yeah, maybe some drinks. But actually get to know people. And I'm not saying you got to exchange phone numbers, but the same way they have events at bicentennial all the time. And have something that is consistent to where people of all walks of life, and I mean that meaning religion, lifestyle, and everything, under like just a peaceful type mood, can just sit down and enjoy one another. Music, I say it again, music's good and things of that nature, but man, when you can get in a comfortable space, man, have something to work. I mean, I know they do like have the movie thing out there sometimes, but have something. You gotta have.
You can't talk with music and you can't talk with movies. You
exactly.
can't get to know each other.
Yeah.
So you got to have a moment to where people can a meet and speak. Y'all don't take that We copyright. Make sure
Copyright.
you put that in the copyright thing right now, Ty.
Get your royalties ready if you try and use it.
And I want the royalties to that. Meet and speak. Just that's what, and I know, and see, I'm saying the most uncomfortable thing. That's why I'm saying that's never gonna happen in a massive.
Because how do you encourage people to even come to that? And the only people who and that's the thing, like people who are open,
right,
aren't the people that need to be coming to that.
Right.
It's the ones who wouldn't be open to coming to it in the first place.
That's it's like you almost
okay.
got to trick.
You got to set them up.
There you go. There you go.
You got to set them up.
Come protest at the Pride Festival.
Yeah. We don't have a conversation. We don't have a conversation.
Oh, word? Come on. Yeah. And get there and they're like, psych. Gotcha. You're going to sit down and just have a little conversation.
We got Hank Williams Jr. in about 10 minutes. You got to be there.
Oh, they be lining up. They're lining up, man.
Oh, yes. But that's what you got to do. It's, you know, the most introverts, like, you got to figure out how to get a lot of the introverts. And what's the other one? Extroverts to mingle together. That's basically all in a nutshell. And you know what? Small is good. Let it start small because people got to see things. People have to see the evidence. These days, if it's not about attention, people have to see it work.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true. They want
anything.
Everything.
You know?
Yeah. You know, they got speed dating.
Mm-hmm.
That could be like, it would turn into speed hating.
It would be.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trademark that one too.
Yeah. That's right. Speed dating.
Speed dating.
That's like, yeah. That's like, yeah. Well, Heathen, I appreciate you, my friend. We're going to invite you back, and there's some topics we needed to start.
I know. I'm sorry, man. It just went.
Don't be sorry, man. This is what it's here for, to talk and get to know one another and show the world who we are, and that we, like you said, love. You know, that's the biggest thing, and try to make Asheboro mature. Like you were talking about maturity. It's never going to be perfect, but you know, we need to have people like-minded as yourself to let the community know, like, we're tired of this shit. We want this shit. How are we gonna get this shit?
That's right.
And you got a good mentality with it, and it's just it's non-traditional. Like we talking about non-tradition, but it's what people. I'm 42 years old. That's what I need to hear.
Right.
And I know people younger than me need to hear what you're saying because we're tired of the same shit happening in the same, like, conversion. You got to be this way. You got to be this way.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to be, but nobody that I ever know ever fits into that. So, you know, this is a good first step. You know, people are gonna see some things, talk about some things, and engage some people.
Right.
And then we just chip away at it, like you said, at home. It starts at home.
That's it.
So thank you, my friend. Much love to you.
Much love to you.
And yeah, Asheboro Undecided. Thank you, Blaze, for sticking around.
Yeah, sticking around, helping us out. We needed it.
Yeah.
Marshall.
I was trying to get a little video of you.
The little shit.